Someone who is pushing back against the woke, as always, is Donald Trump. Now he's posted on Truth Social demanding that the Redskins, the Washington Redskins, who've rebranded as the Washington Commanders, reverse the name.
That's very militaristic, isn't it? Wasn't it commanders of the Union Army that dispossessed all the American, the Native Americans of their land, the original so-called
That's
Redskins?
a good point. That's a very good point. After the Black Lives Matter riots, the Washington Commanders changed their name from the Redskins because it was seen as a racial slur against Native Americans, and this is what Trump posted on Truth Social. He said the Washington whatevers should immediately change their name back to the Washington Redskins football team. There is a big clamoring for this. Likewise, the Cleveland Indians, one of the 6 original baseball teams with a storied past, our great Indian people in massive numbers want this to happen. Their heritage and prestige is systematically being taken away from them. Now, interestingly, a 2016 poll found that 9 out of 10 Native Americans, this was a sample of 500 people, 9 out of 10 Native Americans said they should not change the name. In fact, non-Native Americans, white Americans, were more offended by the name than actual Native Americans. And what they've done is they've erased the Redskins name, they've erased the iconic logo of the Native American person with the feathered headdress, and they've just replaced it with a big W. So it is actually the erasure of Native American identity. And you don't name a football team after weakness, after something you're ashamed of.
No.
I think it's an honour. It's a sign of strength and like the warrior nature of the Native Americans to be called the Redskins.
Well, they should replace the big W with a big L, because this ain't a W a win, it's an L, a loser. I mean, seriously, who is offended by this stuff? And
rich white people.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
That's precisely the point. And it's every time one of these things come up, whether it's, we've got to change the date of Australia Day. I mean, fundamentally, who pushes a lot of that? It's rich inner city white lefties. Who pushes this stuff? Exactly the same. When we changed the name of coon cheese, which had nothing to do with a racial slur. It was the guy who invented the method by which coon cheese was made, Mr. Coon. But we can't have that anymore because someone was offended by it. I mean, this stuff is not offensive to anyone. And what really riles me up about it, Joe, is that every time you have one of these cases, it means people pay less attention to legitimate issues of disadvantage and difference between, in Australia, the rest of the population, Aboriginal people, or in the US, the rest of the population and Native Americans, because they go, geez, if they're upset about Redskins, then I couldn't give 2 hoots about anything else they're concerned about. We get all caught up in these tiny little things that aren't things at all, while we ignore real issues of disadvantage and poverty and abuse and whatever that go on.
Very cynical of you, Caleb. Don't you know that ever since the Washington Redskins changed their name to the Commanders, the gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous American lives has completely disappeared.
Perfect.
they got all their land back. There's no more alcoholism, the gambling, all those casinos instantly disappeared.
Well, they own half the bloody
That's right. They love it. That's right. Which has raised issues in themselves. But that is exactly right. The idea that you can literally just whitewash and, like you say, actually erasing people out of history and erasing past attitudes as a way of proving how holy they are is a very dangerous thing to do in history, because you're actually sanitizing your own past. So you're basically trying to pretend that you're a better person than you are, and sort of reaching back and sort of pretending all these things didn't happen by erasing any trace of them. And of course, erasing, a really powerful representation of Native Americans. And I still think it's amazing that they were called Indians, because Columbus just basically got lost and didn't know where he was. But anyway, but there's something even more sort of creepy and sinister about it, which is that it's going to be very, 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 very hard for Washington to do this and to change his name back to the Redskins, because by doing it now in 2025, it will look a bit weird and will look a bit jarring, just like, when protesters pull down a statue of Captain Cook that is part of our history, that was put up in a different age when people did venerate Cook more and our colonial history more, and you pull it down, it is going to look a bit weird if you say, no, we have to put this statue of Captain Cook back up in 2025. And
why is that weird? We should.
That's not to say we shouldn't do it, but the point is, these people, the activists who tear these things down, know that once you tear them down, they are very, very difficult to put back, because suddenly it looks like you're, imposing a view that in 2025 would be a bit weird, when in fact, if it's part of a historical legacy, it comes from that context, everyone gets it, everyone understands it, and everyone knows that that's fine.
But that's why they have to be put back, so that the vandals don't keep getting away with it.
Yeah, well,
and it's the same here. I mean, it sends a big message. This is why Trump is doing it. It sends a big message if you put that back, to say we're not going to tolerate this kind of nonsense revisionism anymore. We'll just be honest about how things are, and there's no need to change things that are not offensive.